Hey, Boomer.
Hey, good morning. Are we allowed to call this another Victory Monday, or did you guys celebrate on Friday?
Well, it was kind of Victory Friday, although there are still some non-believers, like Cam Newton called this team fool's gold.
Oh, really? He did, huh?
Yes.
Well, I mean, everybody's can have their opinion, whatever you want to say, but they have it all going in the right way and the right direction. And really what's the most impressive thing is that when guys get hurt, other guys step up. And when other guys step up, they actually make a profound difference in the team, especially speed-wise. Travian Henderson has just exploded off the page the last couple of weeks. And look, you got the highest-rated quarterback. He's completed over 70% of his passes. He's thrown for the most yards in the NFL at that position. You know, it's not their fault who they play or when they play them. They just got to go out and play and win. And it's pretty much as simple as that. And they've beaten pretty much every team that, they have beaten every team over the last 7 weeks or 8 weeks. And when you look at this, you realize that they are right there. They're better than Denver, if you ask me. I think they're a much more balanced team and can score more consistently than the Denver Broncos, who are the number one seed in the AFC right now.
Well, Boomer, when you look at the Bengals up next, could it be a Bengals team without Jamar Chase?
It could be. It's certainly a Bengals team without Joe Burrow, and it's been a nice little story with Joe Flacco. He's been fine, but you know the Bengal defense is just horrific. It is about as bad as it gets. I mean, they're on a record-setting pace going the wrong way. So another game where they should win. The Patriots should win this game. Now it's up to Mike Vrabel to make sure that they're on edge, that they don't take anything for granted. We've seen this earlier in the season where they were playing teams that they were supposed to beat, and they did beat them, and there was never any question as to whether or not they were going to beat them. So that's why, no matter what Cam Newton or anybody else may say about fool's gold, when you go and play a team that you're supposed to beat and you beat them soundly, that tells me all I need to know about the coaching and the players that are receiving that coaching.
I mean, Jamar Chase probably ends up getting suspended for that, right?
I would think so. I think I would not be surprised. And, the NFL is very, very sensitive about different things that go on with these players. And, somebody's got to be held accountable. And unfortunately, when it's a star in the league, I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case.
Boomer, when you watch this football team week in and week out, what makes them so dangerous in your opinion?
Multiplicity. When you think about the ability to run the ball, Jermaine, and you know this from playing. You know this from playing in the Northeast, and especially November, December, January. Being able to run the ball, that means you are a physical football team. And first and foremost, when I think of Mike Vrabel, I think of physicality, and that's exactly what you want. Then I think of all the different things that you could do from formation-wise and getting wide receivers and tight ends involved. And then I think of your quarterback accuracy. And I have to tell you, I mean, Thursday night, he looked like he was just out there just playing so relaxed. It looked like 7-on-7 at times. I know the Jets don't have a great pass rush, but he was so calm and so cool and so accurate. I mean, these are the halcyon days of the Brady Patriots. This is what they look like. I'm not saying that they're going to end up being that way, but that's certainly, in my eyes, what it conjures up all those great years where the quarterback was so in control. And then after the game is over, you listen to his teammates talk about him. Number one, he's humble. Number two, he's a leader. And number three, he's a freaking playmaker. And that's the trifecta right there for a quarterback.
I want to get your Drake take this week. We just got a little bit from you on Drake May, and that is brought to you by your New England Chevy dealers. Together, let's drive. From your perspective, what needs to happen the rest of the season to when it comes to Drake and others for him to be the MVP?
Wow, I'll tell you, he's already on pace for this. 200 and more yards passing in every game this season. That's the third second-year quarterback since 1970 with 200 or more pass yards in 11 straight games to start a season, along with MVPs Dan Marino and Patrick Mahomes. I mean, that's all you need to know. He's in very, very rarefied company in regards to all of this stuff. I know he's not thinking about it. That's the humble part of who he is. Josh McDaniels is going to keep him on the straight and narrow, is going to keep going. I just think all you have to do is continue to play your game, and he's going to be right there in that conversation. I mean, how could he not be? So this is really an amazing thing that is happening. The signing of Mike Vrabel, the bringing back of Josh McDaniels, and then the explosion of Drake May. Those are three things that I think when we started this season way back when, we all thought would have a profound positive effect on this team. And, man, I think it's playing itself out the way that I think a lot of us predicted it.
Boomer, you mentioned Vrabel and how the Patriots bringing him in was a huge catalyst to get where they are now. There was a lot of reporting in the build-up to Thursday night that the Jets were desperate to hire Mike Vrabel, and he gave the Jets the Heisman. Did you know about that? And how are you waking up a Jets fan? You're just dealt with 2 decades of Brady and Belichick, and now it looks like Vrabel and May are on their way.
Yeah, this is not easy down here. There's no question about that for either franchise, for that matter. And I think Mike would have been a good head coach for either one. I still never really saw him as the Jet head coach, and I don't think that he in any way, shape, or form insulted Woody Johnson or the Jets. I believe that if Robert Kraft doesn't move on from Gerard Mayo, then I do believe Vrabel would have been the coach here. There's no question about it. But, it's too good of a fit up there. And, you see the relationship that Vrabes has with Robert Kraft and Jonathan Kraft. And, it's just a perfect fit. And the quarterback situation makes everything so much better. That's the thing about the Giants' job right now, is that they have the quarterback of the future. You could see it. You could see the way the kid is playing, Jackson Dart. And that's going to be a very, very sought-after job. There's no question about it. Much like New England would have been a sought-after job if you would have known Gerard Mayo was going to be fired in the middle of last year. I don't know if any of us felt that way at the time, but there's no question that Robert Kraft did not want to see Vrabel wearing Jets green at any point in time in his career.
Boomer, the Kansas City Chiefs are an unfathomable 5-5 and on the outside looking in.
Yeah, and I don't think they're going to make it now. I know they're still right there on the outskirts of the playoffs. There's still 7 games left for them. I mean, they could roll off 6-1 and make it in as a wild card. I don't think they're going to win their division. So there is a chance, because all these teams still have to play each other. And this week, they have the Colts coming to Kansas City. So it'll be interesting to see Patrick Mahomes, obviously, but Daniel Jones going on the road in Kansas City, see how he can play in a really, really tough environment, because this is going to be desperation time for the Kansas City Chiefs. So it was a huge win by Denver yesterday, by the way. That's a huge hump to get over for Sean Payton and, of course, Bo Nix. But to me, I think they are I would say right now, it's like almost like a 50-50 as to whether or not they're going to make the playoffs here.
Well, Boomer, seeing that you answered that, then my next question would be, because I don't know what Vegas looks at. Last week they had them as the Super Bowl favorites, and we talked about this, and I guess it's the Mahomes thing. Does that mean, because in my opinion, I think the Patriots are the best team in the AFC. Would you agree with that?
I do agree with it, yeah. And I think, like I said earlier, they're a little bit, well, not a little bit, I think they're just better overall than the Denver Broncos. Both have really good defenses. Both try to run the ball well, solid offensive lines. The real difference is the quarterback. And Drake May makes the Patriots significantly better than the Broncos. Bo Nix is a good player. I think he took a step back this year, although yesterday was a big moment for him. I don't think that, Drake May has been over 200 yards every single game. I mean, he's front and center in the middle of everything, and nobody is trying to protect him with bootlegs and all this other crap that Sean Payton runs out there in Denver. So, to me, that's the big difference. It's going to be the quarterbacks when it comes down to the playoffs. We all know that. We all see that. And Drake is on his way to having a sensational year, and I suspect that he'll have a sensational playoff run as well.
Boomer, going back to what Greg said about some people not taking this Patriots team seriously yet, a lot of people are looking at that second Bills game as the game in which, if the Patriots win, then people will start taking them seriously. You look at Josh Allen yesterday. Yes, he ends the game with 6 touchdowns total, but he had some head scratchers in that one as well. Where do you stand on him and the Bills at this point in the season?
Well, he put his cape on yesterday for sure in the second half, and the Bills' running defense is not where it needs to be. So going back to being a physical football team, that means not only running the ball and be effective running it, but also stopping the run. And that, to me, is the biggest problem that the Bills have right now. And then, of course, Josh sometimes feels the pressure, and he has to put that cape on and do miraculous things on the football field. But he also does some head-scratching things. We've seen this every year of his career where he'll have a little bit of a dip in his performance and a little goofy stuff will happen, but he'll always come out of it. And because he's Josh Allen, they're always going to have a chance. Now, I would just say this for New England right now, guys, it's on to Cincinnati. They're not thinking about anybody else. They got to keep it simple, and this goes back to who. So it's on to Cincinnati this week. We'll worry about Buffalo when they show up on the schedule.
Well, perfect lead in here. So Bill Belichick gave a statement on Thursday night saying that the North Carolina Tar Heels are on to Wake Forest. Didn't work out that well. How many people within the Giants organization were surprised to see he was even thinking he was up for the job?
I don't know. It's a weird deal. I think he would be up for the job if things didn't end the way that they ended in New England and some of the things that are going on off the field. I think he would be a serious contender. I don't think they're all that desperate, and especially if they keep their general manager, Joe Shane. I would see a guy that is going to be less aggressive when it comes to players and the roster and things of that nature that the Giants would hire. And they may keep Mike Kafka, their interim head coach right now. He didn't have a bad day yesterday. Looks the part on the sideline. Or they may go defensive coordinator like Jeff Hafley out in Green Bay. They also could bring in Mike McCarthy, too. I think people would like to see somebody with some experience. But it's really unfortunate because this would have been the perfect time for Bill Belichick to come in here, take the franchise over, and go out, hopefully a winner as a Giant head coach. But I just don't see that happening.
Question of the week for Boomer, brought to you by McFarland Energy, the region's most dependable provider of home heating oil delivery and expert HVAC services. You can find them at McFarlandEnergy.com. We are at Gillette this morning, where there was a Thursday night game last week. This past week, John Gruden called on the NFL to get rid of the Thursday night games, said no prep, no time to recover. How do you feel about Thursday? I don't think they're going anywhere. NFL.
Yeah, he can say whatever he wants. He's got to get his lawsuit figured out first. I would say, as much as I didn't like it as a player, if we did win, I did like it because it gave us the entire weekend off, and it really hit us a nice break in the middle of the season. I understand where John's coming from because these Thursday night games, especially late in the season, have not looked all that great. But they're forget it. They're going to add an 18th game. They're going to have more international games, and they'll probably have 2 byes. So what I think, it's going to start on Labor Day, and it's going to end on President's Weekend. Eventually, that's where I think they're going, especially after this past Labor Day when you saw the college games and how well they did ratings-wise. I think the NFL is going to want a piece of that. So I wouldn't be surprised if the season starts Labor Day, ends on President's Day, and we all make that much more money, and hopefully we continue with our jobs because everybody's still interested.
All right, Boomer. Well, it's great to hear your voice, and we will talk to you again next week.
Victory Monday, kids. Enjoy. See you.